So unfortunately in today's society we have kids that have experienced the pain of abuse and neglect, who've seen things in their young lives nobody should have to deal with, especially a child. So Boys and Girls Homes is a safe haven for those kids. They come and they stay with us. We meet all their basic needs. They know that they're safe, secure. They know where their next meal's coming from. They know they're gonna have clothes to wear, sheets on the bed, a toothbrush for hygiene. And so we provide that safe environment. We meet all of their basic needs. In addition to that, we provide the opportunity for success. We do that through education. Thomas Academy is a charter school right here on our campus. And we also know that if we're going to make a difference in these kids' lives, our spiritual development program is a big part of everything that we do. We also know that the child before us today needs a lot of work with their mental health. You know, they've experienced trauma. We can't take that trauma away from them, but we can help them to learn how to manage that trauma.
Tell me a little bit about the association here and what y'all do with an event like this.
Oh, absolutely. So it's wonderful to have the Heritage Association come in. It's on our property, but you know, a lot of hands go into making this work. One of our philosophies at Boys and Girls Homes is to be a community partner. We want to be a good neighbor. And so to be able to invite the community in to this facility to put on such a fantastic event, it's educational, it's entertaining, just shows us, you know, the days of old, but to be able to have that to come into our property. It also shows our kids, you know, hey, there are people out there that care about us and are willing to come on and put this on and make this event happen for us. There's always, they have been so generous in making a financial donation back to Boys and Girls Homes, so that benefits our program as well.
I've been in Wilmington for 32 years now, and this year now, it's going to be our 33rd year in Wilmington. And then my wife, who's a realtor, owns a little real estate company, she said, honey, I found a spot for you on Smith Avenue in Charlotte. You need to go look at it because that's a great spot for a store. And I think there was a need in Charlotte for a full service, full-time jeweler who does everything. You know, we do watch, we do jewelry, custom. We have 6 jewelers in our Wilmington store. We're going to have 1 here full-time in this store. And loose diamonds, custom jewelry, whatever you need, we're here to serve the citizens of Charlotte and around the area. And it's working out great. We've been greatly received. I think Charlotte is a great place to retire, to live, to do business. I think it's going to be a great outset in Wilmington. It's got its own unique nature to it. We do everything in-house. We don't ship anything out. Even our custom, we bring the raw metal in and we cast it in our own machine. We do our own growing with a CAD design growing machine, or we hand carve it. If it's something we can't do at the CAD machine, we'll hand carve it. So customer service is it. I mean, we want to treat people like family, and we want them to feel good about their purchases. And we price our jewelry fairly. We don't mark it up to mark it down, and that's worked for us. I mean, just consistently being there. And there's always one of us, hopefully, in the store. You know, my sons are out in the store every day. So we're continuously still working. So I think I got another 5 years in me now. I'm going to have to work to keep this business going and watch it grow. I'm excited to see what it's going to do in Charlotte. We have a full-time website, it's perrysemporium.com. We're also on Instagram and we're on Facebook under Perry's Emporium. We're open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 and on Saturdays from 10 to 4.
Our main mission is to educate the public on the importance of our honeybees and the purposes they serve for us. A lot of people's not aware of that, so we come out in the public to get in front of people, and especially in front of school kids, to educate them on the importance of honeybees.
So what is the importance of honeybees?
Well, they pollinate our crops. 1 out of every 3 bites of food that you put in your mouth is pollinated by a honeybee. So that's the importance of them. 30% of our food is dependent upon pollination from the honeybee. And it's also billions of dollars income for farming in Columbus County. We're seeing a lot more interest because I think the word has finally reached out to people that the honeybees are in trouble and they realize the importance of them, so they're trying to do their part in getting the population back up. So it's a big help to our beekeepers group. We have a beekeeping class that we teach beginners that don't know anything about bees, and we also teach them how to extract the honey, how to put it up, jar it. So anything that they need to know about keeping bees or extracting the honey, we teach it.
How would one join your organization?
It's easy. All you got to do is call the Agriculture Extension Agency in Columbus County, and they can get in touch with our bee club, and we can sure get in touch with you and make you aware of our monthly meetings that we have and when our next bee class is going to be. And we're a tight-knit organization. We're a family of beekeepers. When we get a beekeeper in, we're there to help him. We're not just going to drop him and leave him on his own. We're available by phone to go out to his house and help him if he needs help.
And if somebody were to get a swarm at their house, would they call somebody from your organization to help?
Yes, we would love that. We love to capture swarms and get them in beehives and get them producing honey as soon as possible. But swarming is a natural thing, and that makes the beekeeper happy to be able to catch a swarm. Plus saves him money.
My name is Mushy. That's my trail name. It's M-U-S-H-E. It's a capital E on it. All of us here on the wagon have a trail name, and all of our names end with the capital E. It's just something I came up with. It's kind of like the ranches down in Texas, you know, the double R. Cookie and his wife, theirs is the Rocking B and C Ranch. This weekend, the cowboys across from us that are doing skits all weekend, we cook for them. Typically, we just cook for ourselves. Obviously, we can't, pass a health inspection, so we can't sell the food. So we feel like we're kind of like tailgating out here, having a good time. We'll talk to people that want to learn about the cowboy trails from the late 1800s. When you're out on a trail, they were gone 5 to 6 months a year to go from Texas up to where the railroads ended, like Oklahoma, Kansas City, places like that. And a lot of cowboys were young, like 15, 18-year-old boys, first time out of the house. So the cooks were actually almost like a mom and a daddy. They would do some doctoring, all the cooking, and it made life easier on the trail. The work was still hot and dusty, but if you can end the day with a nice hot meal, a full belly to go to bed with, you sleep better, you feel better. And one thing the cooks would do during the day is, since they can move quicker than the herd, maybe do some berry picking, little fishing, stuff like that. So that's what we are reenacting out here, are the cattle drives from the late 1800s. The cattle drives lasted about 30 years, 30 to 40 years. And so what I'm doing, I started a YouTube channel last year, and it's called Mushy the Cowboy Cook. I try and film out here what we do and the show itself, because I want people to come out to these shows to see this old-timey skills like blacksmithing and working, weaving chairs and knitting, stuff like that. Skills that people are not doing anymore. And a lot of these people out here are self-taught. And then people like us, the cowboys, we make no money. So it's all out of our pocket and we enjoy doing it. So my channel, I'm trying to encourage people to come to the shows. Also, I film as much as I can. And then at home, I built a place so I can cook year-round at home on a wood fire. And then I do unusual cooking. Like for Christmas, I did a Christmas ham in a trash can. Now don't laugh too much. It's funny and it catches your eye and your ear. I've got it, in fact, I've got it here. I'm gonna cook something, but I've got an old granite countertop I cook on. I cooked a dish called shotgun shells, which are macaroni stuffed with like hamburger and cheese and wrapped with bacon. And I put that in a Ziploc bag under a rock in the creek.
Ooh. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get, but my one goal of the channel is to get you to cook out back. Try things like that. Cooking breakfast in a freezer Ziploc bag. No dishes.
One of the funny things that you're seeing is a resurgence in cast iron cooking.
Yes.
And a lot of times people are intimidated by it. But this is all, everything you've got is cast iron.
Pretty much, yes. One of the pans we were cooking in, we cooked 2 batches of biscuits for breakfast. One of the pans is from the 1800s.
Wow.
They're called spiders, and they were designed and made to cook in a fireplace. And so when we go out looking for cast iron, you know, like old stuff, we don't want wall hangers. All of our tools and stuff, we want them to work because we're using them. We're using the old skills, you know, the old cookware that has lasted well over 100 years.
This area needed internet. I mean, it was just terrible. For it to come out here, it was outrageously priced, and you can never get any kind of real service. When I downloaded Netflix, if I couldn't even watch a movie, it would just sit there and render the whole time. I have recommended Focus Broadband to anybody and everybody that would even listen. If you want internet, it's the best that I've ever had.
Since 1940, Inman Ward Funeral Home and Crematory has been family-owned and operated in southeastern North Carolina. You can count on us to help you plan a personal, lasting tribute to your loved one, offering traditional and cremation services along with on-site consultations and planning. We'll work with you and any budget, offering prepayment plans to help alleviate the stress. Inman Ward Funeral Home and Crematory, Tabor City, North Carolina. Let us tell your story.
So at Lower Cape Fear Life Care, we started a Memory Partners program in 2019. The vision was to help caregivers and people living with dementia in the community. Through this grant, with Focus Broadband, one of the interventions that we've been able to offer is music and memory to our Brunswick County residents. There is a whole application process that we complete to ensure that the music that they receive is what they connect with. So far, we've been able to help 17 clients and caregivers in Brunswick County by offering them this intervention of music and memory, and we've gotten some wonderful feedback. This grant through Focus Broadband has allowed us to support people in the community with an intervention they would not have otherwise. So without Focus Broadband helping us, this intervention would not have been one that we could have initiated.
So what's very important for us as a local hometown insurance agency is that there is that accountability there. I always tell someone, if I make you mad, you'll probably find me at the grocery store or sitting at a restaurant. We can talk then, but I always try to make myself available and be responsive to my clients' needs. It took me a long time to realize that I was more than just a paper pusher or an insurance policy quoting machine. This is a relationship business, and a lot of people, when they buy insurance, is because they worked hard for this asset. Maybe it's their home or their auto, and they want to protect it. They want to make sure they have the right coverage for it. So it does give me a lot of satisfaction to know that I'm helping others and giving them that peace of mind. And hopefully they don't have to file a claim, but if they do, I'm going to be their best friend and right beside them to make sure that they're treated fairly and quickly and getting the payout they deserve from the insurance company.
For us, it's just about knowing that folks have somebody that they can reach out to personally, build a relationship with personally, and know that there is somebody that cares. Even when something difficult is happening, you still have that person that you can reach out to. Our niche and our specialty is definitely coastal property insurance. We pride ourselves on being knowledgeable in the arena of flood insurance, and knowledgeable in the arena of wind coverage, and just preparing our clients for what is unfortunately the inevitable. Living here at the beach, we've seen more than our fair share of hurricanes these past few years.
So we have a saying around here that says, when we shop, you win. And I really think that the reason is, as an independent insurance agency, we represent several different companies. Not one of those companies pays for my retirement. So I don't have a loyalty to one company. And I really can take a client's insurance needs and review it and make sure that I find them the right coverage, and we want to find them a decent price or the most competitive price. I never like to say the lowest price, but I want them to leave the office with their policy understanding what they have, feeling like they're getting a good value for it, and also having that peace of mind that they're protected if they do need it.
I think most of the national and regional interest in Fair Bluff has been disaster recovery, flooding. Our town was devastated by Hurricane Matthew and later by Hurricane Florence. About half of our town was underwater during both of those events, and we're on the front page of the New York Times. We've been in a lot of national publications, and a lot of people have an interest in what is happening here. Well, there's a lot of fronts that we've had to address, and I think the most immediate front, after the humanitarian, human safety component was met, maybe for the first month, making sure everybody had enough water, enough food, shelter, things like that. After that first month of humanitarian relief, we went into several fronts. The first one really being residential resolution. There were over 80 homes in our town that were destroyed by flooding. And so there was an effort to rebuild those homes. For those that wanted to rebuild, there was an effort to buy those people out if they wanted to move out of the floodplain. And the community also had a new apartment complex built here for people that just wanted to go into some type of apartment environment. And I guess the last component that everybody's looking at now is more the economic development front. Our entire downtown, as you know, is destroyed, and it's not coming back. The story that we tell is really the only business that was here downtown that came back was the U.S. Post Office, and every other one is gone. And so there's an effort underway to buy those buildings, do the environmental cleanup, demolish them, and replace the entire downtown with a park, or what's called green space. And that work has really begun. We're in the property acquisition mode right now. I invite you back in 4 years and we'll do a special on the park. But the other part of the economic development component is, with very little commercial space in town left after the floods, you know, the question arises, if one wanted to open a business in Fair Bluff, where would they do it? There's nowhere to go. And so the federal government and the state government have stepped in, and they provided funding to the town. And we're actually building a new commercial center, if you will, and we're calling this Uptown to differentiate it from the downtown that's going to be demolished, and to also signify that it's in a place that did not flood during Hurricane Matthew or Hurricane Florence, and hopefully it's up high enough. If someone opens a business there, they'll be safe if the river does get out again. We've actually got some money to get started building the park, but you'll notice I left out a hurdle in the middle, and that is the demolition of the downtown buildings. Once we buy them, once we get them cleaned up, and somebody's got to pay to tear them down and haul them off to the landfill, and we don't have the money for that either. So everything we've done, we've had to apply for grants. We've got an application in for a grant, $2.8 million, to demolish every structure downtown and in the warehouse district and haul it to a landfill. Once that's complete, we've got quite a bit of funding to start on the park, but what that will allow us to do is take that initial money and apply for matching recreation grants and grow that pot of money to finish the park. And it may take another 4 or 5 years to pull all of this off. And our belief at the end is we're going to have something that's going to be very attractive. If you're driving from Florence to Wilmington, you'll want to stop and take a look at it. And hopefully while you're in our park, you'll want to frequent, you know, one of our 12 businesses that are going to be in Uptown. You know, right after Matthew and Florence, we had to justify to a lot of people, should there be a Fair Bluff? Or should we just, you know, lock the door and walk away from it and let it become a ghost town? And obviously the people here, certainly the city council, said no. Fair Bluff needs to be here, and one of the reasons is there's a tremendous investment in infrastructure that's already here. There's roads, there's water, there's sewer, there's broadband. There's already a lot here, and to walk away from that does not make much financial sense. To make it more resilient so it doesn't flood the next time, that seems to be pretty smart move. But yes, you know, our hope would be that if you look at a map and you draw a square, you got Myrtle Beach, Florence, Fayetteville, Wilmington. Who's right in the middle of that square? Fair Bluff. And we're basically going to have a brand new town here. New houses, new apartments, new roads, new infrastructure, new uptown. And for folks that may want to work remotely, I think Focus Broadband has invested in the right place here.
So Liberty Medicare Advantage is a Medicare Advantage plan offered by a trusted local name. Our parent company is Liberty Healthcare, who has been in business since the late 1800s. So this family-owned and operated company started out as a local hometown pharmacy in Whiteville, North Carolina. So for over a century, Liberty Healthcare has been offering a full spectrum of care to our North Carolinians and in our neighboring states. So Liberty Medicare Advantage offers all the benefits that Medicare offers, but we have some extras. Like we have that personal connection with that member to give them that one-on-one care that they need. We also have what we call a Freedom Flex card. And in this Freedom Flex card, we're going to have benefits on this card that's going to allow that member to have that flexibility to receive those benefits and use them where they need appropriate at that time. So we give them a dollar amount, and for that year, we let them decide, where would you like to spend that money? Where do you need that care at that time? Because as we work in this healthcare system, we know that that can be a hard thing to navigate. So we have a coordinator and we have a concierge there to help navigate them through this system. Why I believe in this plan so much is that when my father needed the services that Liberty Medicare Advantage has to offer, having that one-on-one care as well as keeping me educated at all time helped me to understand the trajectory of my father and what would be happening to him. And I know without a doubt that my dad received the best care possible. And that is powerful to me.
You can enroll in Liberty Medicare Advantage year-round by calling 1-833-354-1498 or by visiting libertymedicareadvantage.com.